Hello and welcome back to my channel. I am Jordan and today I'm here with a book review of When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. You guys have no idea how excited I was when I heard Alyssa Cole was coming out with another novel, another book. Oh, I'm buying it. I'm reading it. I'm consuming it. I have to. And then I was like, it's a thriller? Okay. So I was really here for it. She also has a romance novel coming out at the end of this year, but y'all ain't hear that from me. Anyways, When No One Is Watching. So it is a thriller. Let's talk about the book itself. It's a thriller that the main character, Brooklyn raised, Brooklyn born, all that. Grew up in this neighborhood, lives, breathes, all of that. Brooklyn. And her neighborhood's being gentrified like no other. Like they're running amok through the city. And the book is a thriller, and the thriller is focus element is really what the hell happens to these people when they're pushed out and moved out of this neighborhood. And it's really more so that people are just disappearing like flies. Not only are the people disappearing, the businesses are disappearing. They're being replaced by all these frou-frou stuff that is like, what happened to the stuff I know? There's crazy fusion restaurants that are opening up, and it's like Sydney doesn't even recognize the neighborhood she grew up in her whole life. Like, what happened to the original people, essentially? And that's really what takes her on this journey of trying to do this tour of getting the history of her neighborhood in Brooklyn and really getting the real facts of it. And she's discovering so much, and through that discovery she's also letting us discover a lot, because there was a lot of stuff that I read that I was like, wow. One of the things is like really immediately in the epilogue was just Google Black America amusement park. If you haven't heard of it, I had never heard of it. It literally was an amusement park shortly after slavery for people in New York to feel like they're able to relive it and get that experience, which is so sick, but it's literally what, anyways, just it's just our country. But I'm so jumpy and all over the place. I mean, the book had so many gems like that, but it's literally a thriller. How did I feel about the book? I love the book. I gave the book 4 stars. I thought Alyssa Cole's writing was impeccable, meaning she was able, when I'm talking about these facts, she was able to teach us and to give us all these moments. And also for people who don't know anything about gentrification, she talks about redlining. She talks about the history of slave owners going into banking and how the discrimination and the oppression just continues. Land being stolen from indigenous populations, native land being taken, being repurposed, the history of stealing land and building on top of it as if there weren't communities thriving and living there before. And she brings the whole thing full circle. And she does it in such a way where the dialogue is easy and just natural and just real and relatable. And the two perspectives that we get are from Sydney, who's the native born and raised in Brooklyn, and also Theo, who was one of the people who moved into the neighborhood, who actually moved in and is part of the gentrification that's happening. You know, the rates rise, the rent rises, people get pushed out and all this other stuff. But the thriller element is really, there's more to it than like just the typical. It's like, literally, where are these people going? Like, what the heck is happening? People are just one day there and the next day they're not. And I thought that was such a cool kind of concept to base the thriller on. I loved it. I have seen critics or some criticism, even though overall I think the book's kind of around the 4-star range. When I looked on Goodreads, like I think 3.75 or something like that. But I actually did the whole thing of putting in my review, and I saw other people's review, and I saw some people saying it's not really like a thriller. And it's like, I'm not the expert on thrillers, but most thrillers are like everyday life, and you have those hints of what's going on. Spook element, a little bit like you're trying to figure, it's more like a mystery, trying to figure out what's going on, and it keeps going on, and it's kind of like that slow build. In the end, you get the reveal. That's kind of how this was. It was a little bit of a build up to you, little gems of, that don't seem right. Oh, what's that? Something spooky. And then at the end, it's like bam, bam, boom, bam, boom. But I didn't feel like it was out the norm. I will say that I thought it was really good because it also incorporated true stuff that we're going through, which I love what Black people are doing with the thriller horror genre, and really utilizing it and getting the backing to be able to tell our stories in a way that I feel like previously, I'm not saying we're there yet where we're able to tell these stories, but there's just more diversity and more I don't know how to say it, but more access to these kinds of stories. So I appreciated that. And I think it was a very, very great debut into the thriller genre. Like, for that to be her first thriller, that was, you're just going to love the range. That's how I felt reading it. And yeah, I'm excited to read more from the author, more in thriller, sci-fi, whatever she want to give us, honey. I'm here for it. And yeah, if I would say there's any criticism at the ending, there's like a little bit of kind of like the reveal, like when the reveal of what is happening happens. I don't know how to explain it. I don't want to say it just ended abruptly, but it was kind of like, oh. So that would be my only gripe. People talking about that, the slow build. I loved the reading. If anything, it was the actual ending that wasn't like wow for me. It was just like, oh, okay, you know. But yeah, those were my thoughts on the book. I would love to hear your thoughts, especially if you read it. I lived up to the hype for me. So yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Love and light, and deuces.